Hello, everyone. I want to give my opinion on the Will Smith slaps fire from Chris Rock at the Oscars. I want to start off by saying I love Will Smith. I love Jada, and I also love Chris Rock. I'm taking no one side. I'm only giving my opinion. First of all, guys, it's not okay what Will did. Just as if anyone else was at a comedy show and a comedian said something that that person don't like, it's not okay to go up on the stage and slap him for what the comedian said. So, Will, I love you dearly. I watched almost everything you do. One of my favorites of all time. But that was not okay. If we allow that and we think that that's cool, imagine how many comedy shows, how many Oscars, how many BET awards where people will feel like they can do it too. Because I don't like what they said about my family. I get it. If he didn't like what Chris Rock said about Jada, G.I. Jane, I get that. But it's not okay. I understand. She didn't like it. We all saw her face look. She didn't like it. I'm going to say we the people don't like a lot of things that people say about us. Will, Jada, myself, and others have been drugged in the mud about things that people have said about us. But we cannot run up on them and slap them in the face. We would go to jail. It might be understandable. Oh, they talked about her child, and her child is dead. God bless the dead. This is mine. Rest in peace to him. They've gotten on here and said things about him. Yes, I wanted to put my foot up their butt. But imagine, just imagine, if I was to go somewhere and 2-3 people said something about my son who is deceased. Would it be okay? Would it be okay for me to go around and hit each and last one of them? No, it will not. Would I do it? I don't know. I don't know. But that does not make it right. We have, and I know I've heard many of comedians say jokes that are funny that wasn't the best joke to say about someone else. But we all know that's what comedians do. I don't want to make anyone upset. I don't want to make anyone, get in their feelings about it. you know. But I look up. I look up to Will Smith, and maybe Will Smith was in a moment. Maybe Will could have thought a little longer. Maybe he didn't think at all. I think that Will, because like I said, gotta watch my words carefully, have heard worse, know of people who said worse about him and his family. That was a joke from a comedian on national television. And I'm sure Will don't want to put out there that that's acceptable with his standard, the high standard that a lot of people hold him to. I'm sure he don't want to put out there for the comedians, for we the people, to believe that we should be able to do the same thing. They're going to be like, Will got away with it. And I know that would be the first thing someone does at the BET Awards, at a concert, anything like that. Somebody can say anything on the microphone that someone might not like. And I know Will don't want nobody to come out and say, well, Will did it. No one made a big deal out of it. Will didn't apologize to Chris. And I'm not saying that Will owes him an apology. Maybe he do, maybe he don't, maybe he will, maybe he won't. But he do, or he should, in my opinion, he should, on, off camera, I don't know, but I would prefer for it to be on him and Chris. I would love to see them react. Them, not us. Not we the people. I would love to see them two get back on the camera, not replay the incident, but what do you think about what you did, Will? And how do you feel about that, Chris? Maybe Will will say, it wasn't the right time. I was wrong. That was national television. People look up to me. I don't want anyone to ever follow that, what I put out there, that part of me. I don't want anyone to look up to me on that level. And then I want to, I don't know. I can't say whether I want him to apologize or whatever, but I would want to hear more of what makes you, or do you think that's okay? Because it's not. If I would do that, I would be in jail. And so would many of you. And like I said, I love Will, but right is right, wrong is wrong. Period. You know, he said, I hope you guys invite me back. That would have been the last thing on my mind. My reputation, and I know everyone gets it. I know everyone gets it. He looked out for his wife. He took up for his wife. You know, he ran up there because he was flabbergasted about what he said about Jada. He didn't like the joke. That's what a man's supposed to do. No, a man is not supposed to put his hand on anyone. He could stand up there. He could have even said what he said after he slapped him. He could have sat there and said that would have been good enough. They tell me violence is never the case. Violence is never okay. They tell me that. And I'm saying that now. You know, saying that would have been enough. Even if you had to stand up and say it. Keep my effing wife's name out your effing mouth. Would have been good enough. And I know, because I love me some Will. I love me some Will. And I know he's not okay with that decision he made. In my heart and soul, I know he's not okay with that. Like I say, I get it. You don't want anyone to speak on your loved ones, alive or dead. We don't like it. We don't like it. And I know, I just know. I just know. Will is not proud of that moment. And I just don't want to know and feel that he's not proud of that moment. I want to hear him say how he feels. Give a statement. So I and we the people don't have to use our assumptions. We don't have to think or imagine his thoughts on that. But like I said, I know in the bottom of my heart, I know he ain't okay with that. I know he wish he would have handled that better. You know. Do I think he's walking around saying, that's my wife. That's my wife. I'm going to slap anybody say something about my wife. From this point on, that's an example for anybody who say something about Jada. That's an example of what they're going to get. I don't think so. I don't think that's the way he feels. You know, like, I'm proud of what I did. Because if you're proud of that, that means anytime someone says something about Jada, that's the reaction that you're going to give. And I can't see that. I can't see him saying, I feel good about that decision. I feel good about that decision. Because that's an example. That's what I'm going to do from here on out when they drag our names in the mud. If anyone else does that at an award show, I will do the same because I love my wife and that's how I feel. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe he'll do that, and I can't see it. I can't see him saying that I'm proud of that moment. Because if you say that you're proud of that moment, that means that you will do that again at another award show. And I just can't see him not seeing and feeling some type of way about how he handled that. I just can't see it. Because I look up to him. I feel like he's one. I've been watching him since he was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised in the playground. Most of my days, I love Will. I would consider him a comedian. I don't know, but he's so funny, he could be a comedian if he's not already a comedian. But I don't know if that's on his, I don't know if that's one of his criteria. I don't know, but he's really, really funny, And I want to also say that he knows so many comedians. I just want to say that it's not okay. And I do love Will. I do love Will. But we got to look at it like we can't allow people to think that they are allowed or it's acceptable what Will did. We got to stop that now. We got to stop that right now before it gets out of hand. And it's all over the world. It's okay. Will did it. I'm going to do it. If anybody ever get on the stage and say something about my family that I don't like, I'm going to walk up there and I'm going to slap the crap out of them. Will didn't get no backlash. I don't want Will to get no backlash. Not at all. I don't want him to get no backlash. I would just want him to make a statement to Chris and Chris make a statement back, and I want them to do it just like they did it on stage. Just like it happened on stage, I want it to be in the public eye. And who am I? Who am I? I'm just saying. That's what I would want. It was done in the public eye, and I want to see it squashed in the public eye. You know, cause I'm all I don't know how I feel about it. You know what I want. I'm just assuming and confused and what's really going on type of way. But all I want to do is let people know that it's not okay. And I don't want comedians to feel like, oh Lord, what if a comedian is on a stage and he already have his jokes ready, and he look over there and he see somebody that he's finna say a joke about. Oh Lord, he finna slap me. He gonna come up here and slap me. We don't want these comedians to feel that way. You know, we don't want them to feel that they got to watch what they say because somebody gonna walk on the stage and assault them. We don't want that. You know, and for the people, you know, for anybody who feels like, you know, that's okay, you're supposed to defend your family and all that, man, it's gonna be a whole lot of violence. It's gonna be a whole lot of battery, assaults. It's gonna be a whole lot of that going on. And we don't need no more violence. We don't need it. And I don't want that to be okay. I don't want that to end up with people looking at it like, oh, okay. Oh, you know, okay, I'm gonna try that one. I wish somebody would try me. I wish somebody would try me on stage and I'm in the audience. I wish they would. It is not gonna be pretty. With everybody thinking that they can do it too. It's not, guys. So at the end of the day, that I hope I didn't hurt anyone or step on anyone's toes, because basically all I'm saying is it's not okay to assault anyone for whatever reason. For whatever reason. You know? Because if we accept that, when we can accept somebody to do that to our loved ones because they don't like what they said. You know, you don't want your loved one to get slapped for saying something. No, they might not have should have said it, but you don't want them to get slapped. You know, and anybody can have a trigger. Anybody, that was Will's trigger. He didn't want nobody to say that about Jada. Now, another person might not want somebody to say something about their mom. I don't want you to say nothing about my deceased child or my living children. So what are we allowed to do? What are we allowed to do? It's not okay. And no, it's not okay, guys. Regardless of what everybody sees, regardless of how it looks, you know, I love you, 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 Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and Chris Rock. It's not okay.